right, man, let's talk about the Lions wide receiver room. We talked about, or I don't know when you're going to see the video, Dan Campbell talked about how he was disappointed in the brother Donovan Peoples-Jones because he really ain't stepped up. And he let Darius Fountain step up and steal his shine as far as stepping in as the number 3 wide receiver. Now, we know how it pretty much go for the Lions. It's going to be St. Brown in the slot, and they need 2 receivers on the outside to dominate. Right now, J-Mo, for their sake, has ran off, with that. And Brad Holmes spoke highly of, Donovan Peoples-Jones and Antoine Green. And right now, I ain't heard much about Antoine Green. So I haven't heard much about him. So it seemed like, to be honest, that you might hear some talks about them maybe going out there looking to get a receiver. So you got a guy like Michael Thomas that's still out there on the free agent market. Just played through an injury and just never really recovered from that injury. So at the end of the day, we know, one thing about Michael Thomas, everything isn't predicated on his athleticism. He's a possession receiver. He gonna get separation. Big physical guy. Good route running. And he just gonna be a chain mover, kind of what I said about DeAndre Hopkins. Hopkins is just gonna be a chain mover. So in reality, that's what Michael Thomas can do. He can move the chains. He's gonna be punctual. He's gonna be where he need to be at as far as a receiver. So, and you wouldn't have to give up nothing to get him. But once again, then it'll just boil down to the numbers. And can he stay healthy? So, I would, like I said that from the beginning. I said that's been a good pickup. I was a advocate for them going out there and getting DeAndre Hopkins. I felt like that would have been something that they would have needed, is somebody that's a chain mover, that's punctual, and he gonna be where he need to be at, when the time comes. So they could trade for somebody. I know the Bengals got 2 receivers that they need to pay. I don't know, would they trade T. Higgins and then move on from him? I don't know what the 411 would be. Somebody may get cut in camp. I mean, you never know. The whole Ayuk thing is out there, but having 2 $30+ million receivers is crazy. And it's funny how the receiver market has totally inflated. It's really inflated. The receiver market is bananas. You know what I'm saying? It's bananas. So nobody really seen this coming, where they would turn around and have 2 $20 million receivers. Nobody see that coming. They got receivers are getting $30 million. So I think that's crazy to put that, in there. I still would be more of a fan of them going out there and getting Matt Judon. I was hearing somebody was telling me they didn't think he was a culture fit. I guess because how he acting in New England about his money, but he's grossly underpaid. And somebody said they got the most cap room in the NFL and they refuse to pay him. So I'm about to lose and play for the low. I understand he coming off an injury, but that's another story for another day. So, do they feel like they need to go out there and actually get a wide receiver is the question. And, if I'm a betting man, I mean, if Antoine Green ain't doing nothing, if he ain't doing nothing, and then you go in there and, and Donovan Peoples-Jones is being a huge disappointment. And then, he had one really good year with Baker Mayfield. It's crazy to me. He had one really good year with Baker Mayfield. So, yeah, that's kind of like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, geez Louise. So maybe he physically can't do it no more. He's been the guy that's been constantly injured. So maybe it's just to the point where he like, I can't do it no more. And if that's the case, I mean, I feel him. If that's the case, where you physically feel like, hey man, I can't do it no more physically. I definitely understand it. So, or he just not picking up the offense, or maybe he just not got a great rapport with Jared Goff. Yeah, I had to go in there and get my food, but nonetheless, I don't even think I should go out this way, to be honest. But yeah, man, so they may need to go out there and get another receiver if these guys ain't stepping up. I mean, if it wasn't for Darius Fountain, I think they would already got another receiver, and then he kind of iffy because of his injury history. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when you go out there, it's just one of those positions where you can't wait, because there's got to be a rapport with the quarterback and the receiver. And you look, Donovan Peoples-Jones has been with the Lions half of last season into the training camp. He just don't have a rapport with Jared Goff. So Jared Goff don't seem to be an easy quarterback to get a rapport with. I mean, I don't know if that's, however you want to take that, but he doesn't seem to be a quarterback where it's easy to get along with. We done seen, people like J-Mo come in and have an issue with him. The first half of St. Brown's career, it took him a minute to have a rapport with Goff. You got to remember, I think St. Brown started to really come on with Tim Boyle as quarterback. I think people tend to forget that. So Goff just seemed to be one of those quarterbacks where y'all need a lot of time in. A lot of people put a lot of flack on J-Mo for not having a rapport with Goff, right away. But Goff just seemed to be one of those quarterbacks where y'all got to get a certain amount of reps in, and then he'll start to trust you, and then y'all can start to get used to each other. So he ain't an easy quarterback to for a receiver to transition. So if they like, if they got to bust a move and eventually will bust a move, you might as well go ahead and bust that move right now and go find a receiver, so they can start off now. So by the middle of the season, they can start clicking. Because he don't seem to be a quarterback where you can hit the ground running and be A1 with him. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's just my observation. Because J-Mo, St. Brown, now Donovan Peoples-Jones, you know what I'm saying? Like, it seemed like it's going to take a little minute for y'all to build up a rapport with that guy. So, like I said before, you don't got to go out there and get a T. Higgins. You ain't got to go out there and get a big-time receiver, but the ideal receiver, somebody that can be able to win on the outside, and somebody that you can rely on, somebody that you can rely on, you know what I'm saying? And, if Michael Thomas is healthy, I don't think that's a bad idea. I think Marquise Goodwin might be out there. He got another dude with health issues. I could be wrong on him being out there, but yeah, somebody that you can rely on. One thing about Michael Thomas, he gonna be a red zone threat, and he gonna be a chain mover. You know that. He gonna run precise routes, and that's kind of the difference when you're dealing with them younger receivers and them athletic receivers. They don't necessarily run precise routes till later in their career. But Michael Thomas, he gonna be where he need to be at for Jared Goff, and him and Jared Goff should hit it off fairly easy. He gonna win those 50-50 balls, and he gonna be punctual, and he gonna be where you need to be at. And that's kind of one of the guys you're looking at now. They really trying to go for the gusto. Then hey, they can go out there and try to get T. Higgins. But then again, it's gonna be a 1-year rental, or you gonna pony up $30 million. That's the going price. So a lot of these teams just gonna start just drafting guys. They gonna sign one guy that they feel like they got an essential receiver that they need. They'll pay him, but you don't see a lot of people just start drafting receivers, and they're going to get treated like running backs to a certain extent. They tore up Tyreek Hill's deal, or redid his deal, and now he getting $30 a year. So that's what you probably about to start seeing. You probably about to start seeing a lot of these dudes, just starting to go the receiver route and just, recycle. But the Bengals got 2 receivers, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. They both gonna want $30 million. Really can't tie that up into two receivers, and then you got a quarterback making all that money, and then you need pass rushers and everything else. So really, you just got to find one really good receiver and continue to draft other receivers around them so they can be successful. You know what I'm saying? So they can be successful, but nonetheless, a lot of these teams got problems, but you draft them, and you hope that Jameson Williams pans out for the Detroit Lions. You know, you hope, some of these other guys like Antoine Green, pan out for them, but we have to see. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live, drop video. Financially, want to support the channel. Cash App, $CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link description. Hit the link tree, follow me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Peace.